Hey guys, so this vlog is going to be a little bit of like a different kind of vlog today, but not really. It's still me, just talking and whatever, but I've put it up on a shelf today so I can talk freely with my hands and let you guys kind of know a little bit of my background story. 2012 is coming to a close. A couple more hours, it's going to be 2013, and I have had the most incredible year this year. I've learned so much things about myself that I never thought I would learn, and accomplished so many things that I at one point didn't think I could. And that's why I'm telling you guys this story tonight, because I want you to know who I really am, where I've come from, how I've gotten to this place. And I want anyone that ever watches this who's going through a hard time, whether it's with somebody else or with yourself or just whatever is going on, I want you guys to take my story and really know that things can get better. And regardless of what you're going through, there's always a way and always a time that you can turn things around and change your life. And so I'm going to tell you guys my story. And yeah, here we go. So, my story starts in February of 2010. I was a senior in high school. I was in grade 12, and I was scared. I went back to high school, so I knew that the next year I was going to be going back to high school for a victory lap, or like a grade 13, to take an extra course. I took a biology, I said that weird, and I took a co-op, and I knew that about 90% of my friends, all of my friends, were going on to college or university, and around February, well, I guess closer to March and April, they started getting their acceptance letters. And I was, honestly, within my group of friends, the only person that was staying back an extra year. So it was scary for me. And in February of 2010, I started to lose myself. I had this kind of mentality where it was like a smart girl leaves before she's left. And so in my head, I saw all of my friends going away to school, not as them going to better their lives or, make a better future for themselves. I saw it as them leaving me. And I realized that to many people that doesn't make sense. But to me at the time, that was how I felt. And so I didn't want them to forget about me. I didn't want them to go away and just, leave. So I made a couple of decisions that had very negative outcomes. I started fighting with a lot of people that I shouldn't have started fighting with. I lost a lot of friends. My closest friends said they worried about me. They're, Leslie, are you okay? Why are you saying this? Why are you acting like this? This isn't you. And I just kind of let their worry just float away, just off my shoulders. I didn't care. I was mad at them, but for the wrong reasons. I was mad at them because, like I said, I thought that they were leaving me, and I couldn't kind of grasp that it wasn't that way, because I just felt so angry. I guess that was how I was feeling, was angry and left behind. And I would say that probably by the time June rolled around, I had made enough bad decisions and enough arguments and stuff that I watched probably 6 of my close friends cross the stage and get their diplomas, and about 50 or so of people that I used to be close with do the same. I was so scared and hurt and lonely. And I had never felt that way before, and so I didn't know how to deal with it. And after I graduated, I believed that I was walking away from my own personal hell. And what I failed to realize was that the only reason it felt that way was because I had put myself in this situation to feel that way. But after I graduated, I kind of just said, you know, I'm leaving, it's great, like, I don't have to see these people ever again, and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I continued on with my life. And I think the thing that was the hardest for me to understand over the next 9 or so months was that people never asked me if I was okay, because I kept telling everyone that I was. I said things like, I've never been happier. I'm, you know, things are great. I feel fantastic. No matter how hurt and how angry and how sad I was really feeling on the inside, I told everyone that I was fine. And I think what it was is I kept thinking, you know, if they really loved me, they would see that I'm sad. If they really, you know, cared about me, they would know that I'm not okay. But when you tell someone enough times that you're okay, they're gonna believe you. And I failed to realize that. And so I pretended over the next, like I said, 9 months after I graduated, that everything was fine. That I was happy. I'd never been happier. And I was in this relationship at the time, and in March of 2011, I hit what I like to call rock bottom. Me and the person that I was dating at the time broke up, and I felt so alone. I had lost so many friends because of my own selfish actions and decisions, that I had nobody to turn to. And 17 years of my life I spent trying to be the girl that cared about other people and trying to, you know, put other people first. And in the 1 year that I, you know, was with this person and that I was alone, I lost everything. I lost complete sight of myself. I hated who I was. I didn't like the way I looked. I thought I was fat. I thought I was ugly. I didn't think I was funny. I thought no one could ever love me. I thought no one would care about me because they didn't care about me, because they didn't ask about how I was. And I was so angry because I didn't think past myself. I just thought, these people don't care about me. I had convinced myself that no one was there for me, and it was because of all these terrible qualities I had about myself, you know. I had bad skin, I had this, I had that, I didn't have the good clothes, and nobody was saying those things to me except myself, and I didn't realize that at the time. So in March of 2011, I fell apart. I was, yeah, rock bottom, guys, and I mean it. If you have ever kind of felt like that rock bottom, then maybe you can understand. It's scary. It really felt to me at the time like it would never get better. And I wrote, you know, in my diary all the time, and I have this one entry where it says, I write in my diary like I'm writing to someone else, and I just said, you ache. Like ache, A-C-H-E, hurt. You hurt. And looking back at it now, it's like I didn't even realize really how sad I was at the time, because I was working so hard to convince everyone that I was happy that I refused to believe that I wasn't. And so in April of 2011, I got an acceptance letter into college, my college of choice, and I was excited. I was, you know, really excited, but at the same time, I had my guard up, because I was like, well, in my own way, was like, well, why am I allowed to go to this college? Why is it suddenly okay for me to be happy? You know, I've spent so long being upset, so why should I continue? Like, why should I be able to be happy? And so what happened was I was feeling sorry for myself, and I started listening to the song Better in Time by Leona Lewis. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard the song, but basically she says it's going to get better in time. And I remember that night I started belting out this tune. I mean, like, top of my lungs, screaming this song. And it sounded like complete crap, I'm sure, but I was so wrapped up in the lyrics at the time that it was just like, bah! And I remember that was the night that after that song was over, I turned it all down and I was lying there. And I finally let myself feel everything that I had pretended I wasn't feeling. So I let myself feel hurt and sad and angry. I let myself feel 100% of the emotions I had kind of, suppressed. I felt guilty for all the friends that I'd pushed away. I felt sad for how much I didn't like myself. I cried my eyes out because of all these wars I had created. The war within myself, the war within my family, the war within my friends. And that was a night that I decided, I have to make a change. And after I cried for like an hour, and I mean a real cry, like those cries where you just don't know if you will ever stop, I prayed. I don't always show that I'm, religious, and I wouldn't really say that I am, but I prayed to God that things would get better, that I would feel okay again. And I think what it was is I was kind of mad in a way at God at the same time, because I kept praying that things would get better and they didn't, and it was because I was doing it to myself. And I just remember praying that night, like, God, help me get through this, let me get better. And that was the first night in over a year that I slept through the night. I slept like a freaking baby, minus all the crying and waking up. And yeah, so that was kind of where I started my journey to love myself. And it is so hard to do something like that. And I mean, that doesn't really, maybe I'm not saying it right. It's not hard to love yourself. It's hard to love yourself when you feel unlovable. Like I said, I didn't think that anyone could love me, and it is impossible for somebody else to love you if you don't love yourself. I can tell you that. And I started with little things, like looking in the mirror and self-affirmation, like, you look nice today, Leslie, and blah, 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 whatever I could think of. And even now that it's kind of, gone on, I guess a year and a half now, I still catch myself every now and then saying something negative about myself and going, whoa, hold the phone, girlfriend. No. Whatever I said negative about myself, I'll try and make it more positive. And what I did that helped the most was I apologized to so many people. I apologized to someone. The hardest apology for me was the first one, and I apologized to this person that I cared about for 3 years and completely thrown to the gutter. I remember writing this message to him saying, I'm sorry for all the things, and I wasn't expecting any kind of response. And I remember I got one within the hour, and we met up and we talked face to face for the first time in over a year, and he forgave me. And I think that was the moment, one of the moments where I was like, wow, things can get better, things can go up. And like I said, I'd gotten that acceptance letter into my college of choice, and I was so excited to go away and, spread my wings. And I'm remembering now all the times that I apologized to people over that next couple of months. I mean, tears and apologies and all that were found so frequently over the next couple of months. But when you hear that, I forgive you, or you get that forgiveness, and after you pour your heart out and you say you're sorry, it is unlike anything I can tell you. I can't tell you how amazing it feels. So in September of 2011, I went away to school. I went to London. And that is where I think I really kind of found myself, because London didn't know my background story. Nobody there knew me, and I didn't have to be this girl that had this huge kind of emotional breakdown, I could just be Leslie there, and I liked who I was, and I liked who I became. And that's why I think 2012 was so great too, because all of those people that I pushed away have either forgiven me or have said, you know, like, thank you for your apology, but my life is in a different place. And that's okay with me. And I wish sometimes, you know, I get frustrated and I wish I could just go back in time and tell myself it'll be okay. And go back and say, Leslie, like, you're only going to stay friends with 3 people in high school, and that's okay. But at the same time, I'm so glad that it got me to where I am today. And that's what I want to say to you guys is, if you're going through a tough time where you feel like things won't get better, they will. And I can honestly tell you guys, I understand. I empathize when you sit there and you don't feel comfortable in your own skin. You think you're fat, you think you're ugly, you think you're unlovable. And I promise you guys, I promise you that it gets better. And I know that you hear that all the time, because I know I heard it all the time. Like, oh, Leslie, you're exaggerating. It's not that bad. Things will get better. But it's like, it doesn't feel that way. And anytime I hear these things, I just want to give you guys a hug and say, no, it really does. And I've been in your shoes and I get it. I really, really get it. And that's why I tell you guys all the time, or I've said in previous vlogs, I have not always been this girl. I was angry and sad and hurt and just a totally different version of me. And I want you guys to know that if you want to feel happy, you just have to feel happy. But in order for most people, I think, to feel happy, you have to let yourself feel sad too. You have to let yourself feel all the things that you are feeling, and you can't be ashamed of it. And I remember that was my thing, was I was ashamed of the fact that I was so sad. I was ashamed of the fact that I felt my friends had left me behind. I was so embarrassed that these people had left me behind and they were having this great life and I wasn't invited, and I was so ashamed of who I was. And I'm not that way anymore, because I realized that that's life. Things happen in life all the time that you can't explain. And the hardest part of my journey, like I said, was loving myself. It's so freaking hard, and I get it. I really get it. But I look at my life now and the friends that I have, and I just think, you know, like, thank God. Thank God I went through what I went through. It has allowed me to empathize with people who feel that, like, they're not important, or who feel sad, or who feel like things won't get better. And I can tell them truthfully that it does, and it will, and it's not easy. I know that it's not easy, but, you know, I've got amazing friends. I've got an amazing family. I've got just amazing things, and all these unexpected things that have happened over the past year, you know, meeting people I never thought I'd meet, feeling things I never thought I'd feel, you know, feeling proud of myself and happy of my accomplishments, proud of my accomplishments, and happy to be able to be proud of myself. And these little moments that happen throughout the day, you know, a friend says, you look nice today, or I liked when you did this, and I liked when you did that. And just little things that they don't realize make my day. And it's the unexpected moments, I think, in life that have got me here, because that freaking song hadn't come on. You know, maybe I would have felt sorry for myself all night. I'm sure I could have eventually pulled myself out of where I was, but it's not hard. Wait, it's not easy. And yeah, I wanted to finally kind of share that story and let it all out and whatever, and let you guys know where I'm coming from when I say I haven't always been this way, and letting you know that I'm living proof that it gets better, because I've been in some very dark places, and I've been scared and lonely and heartbroken like you would not believe. And this is where I am today. I'm happy. I've got a great job, great friends, great family, and it hasn't come easy. Nothing has come easy, but it has been so worth this journey, and I just really want to share it finally with you guys. And I hope that you watched all of this, and if not, well, whatever. But no, I hope you guys can take something away from this and know that anything is possible. Any freaking thing that you put your mind to is totally possible. You just really have to believe in yourself, which is hard. And I get it. I really do get it. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. And, you know, 2013 is a couple hours away, so let's just make it worth it. And, yeah, okay. I love you guys. And that's my story. And now I don't know how to finish this vlog, so Happy New Year, I guess. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Love you, bye.